Good evening and welcome to another session of Schmucker Productions Podcast. Tonight's guest is Ed Earl. He is a traditional country singer who is making waves throughout the industry right now, trying to get himself to where he wants to be. Bright lights, and fans, and letting people see that he's got something to give forth with his music. Ed, thank you for being here tonight. Tell everybody a
Thanks
little
for
bit
having me,
about
man.
yourself. Of course. I
Yeah.
appreciate you being here.
Yeah, so like I said, Ed Earl, country music singer. I've been singing since I was a kid, whether it be the car radio or when I started playing guitar when I was a teenager. Yeah, honestly, music's always been my passion. I've tried a bunch of other things. Navy veteran, still in the Navy Reserves, been for 16 years now. I've just always had a passion for music. And once I had kids, I kind of had to pause it for a little while. But you know what? It brought up a lot of good songwriting opportunities. I ended up writing more. And when they got older, it was like, you know what? I got to take this thing seriously. When God gives you a talent, you got to try to use it to the best of your ability and get it out there for whatever purpose it's supposed to serve. So just always something that ate at me is like, hey, I got to go try this music thing seriously and try to make it to the big time, whether that be as a songwriter or as a performer, maybe both. I could go either way. I'm not bad at either.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for your service. That means a lot. My
Thanks
wife's
for supporting
family,
us.
of course, my wife's family was in the military, so was mine. So, it just means a lot when you go out there and put your life on the line for everybody. So, thank you for that. Um, where have you, where do you want to see yourself in about 5 years?
5 years. I love this question just because there's so much that could happen in the next year. I do have my third EP is coming out. I've recorded two EPs as an independent artist, and they're both streaming on Spotify and Apple Music, wherever you can stream at. So those were done in 2022 and 2023. I recorded my third EP in February, and we're actually getting our first single to radio this year. So
Right
it's
on.
getting very exciting. So in 5 years, Lord willing, I'll be singing on the Grand Ole Opry and doing some major touring. Hopefully, maybe opening up for people like my hero is George Strait, Alan Jackson. If I can get one show with Alan before it hangs up forever, that'd be a plus. And just hopefully writing with some of the big songwriters that influenced me, like Dean Dillon or Terry McBride. Some of the guys that wrote all the stuff in the '90s that really inspired me to play and sing music. So, I mean, honestly, I'm a big fan of the songwriters as I am the artist. So that's where I'd hope to be. I hope I'm, writing big time, maybe writing songs for other people as well, and just touring and doing the thing full time.
That's what's up. Being doing what I do. I make films. I do security for musicians, wrestlers, anything I can get my hands on really in security. And just recently I did a festival in Bean Blossom, Indiana called Cornstalk. And it had some great artists out there. And we had some country singers. We had Clayton Anderson. He was out there. We had some other, original bands like Blind Melon and Don Stuck. So, hearing what you say about just touring and getting yourself out there and seeing, I work with a lot of different people and I know a lot of people. Uh, I'm going to be passing your name off to some people to
I
try to
appreciate
get
that.
you some gigs around here because we're a little bit far apart. I think it's about a 7 hour drive. If I'm not mistaken. You're in Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, I'm in East Tennessee. I'm just outside of Knoxville.
Knoxville, yeah. So yeah, we're about seven. No, we're about 5.5 to 6 hours away from each other. So I
Hey,
get
if,
to
if it's a,
Nashville very, very rarely, but I do get down there.
nice. Well, if the show's worth it, we'll head up there.
Yeah,
Especially if it can work with whatever we're trying to do.
of course, yeah. That's I'd love to see people move from where they're at and get out. Like
Oh
they
man.
get far away from home and they're out there getting a fan base. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
And honestly, like in the past year, I've done some pretty cool stuff. I mean, I got to sing in Australia, which was amazing. I
Wow,
did
right
the
on.
Orient Hotel in Sydney, and that was a cool experience. And the Aussies are like the newer country music. So when I said you guys like George Strait, they kind of like looked at me like, "Who's George Strait?" So I was, and then same thing when I mentioned Brooks all right, I'm just gonna play Wagon Wheel for y'all. And it killed though. It did great. And then I played in Texas. I play here locally quite a bit. So and throughout my lifetime, I've played in a lot of places. I played in Vegas. Played in San Angelo, Texas. They have this big river stage, kind of where I grew up when I was a kid. Where else? Lenzic Theater in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I've done like little here and there things, even though I kind of took a hiatus from music for a long while while my boys were young. I've still always like had some cool opportunities to go do some stuff, and I got to play for guitar for Chad Brock on a show not too long ago in Texas, and it's cool in Nashville. You meet people, you get these little weird opportunities, like, hey, Ed, we heard you're a pretty decent guitar player. You think you could back Chad up for this one-off gig in Texas? I was like, yeah, man. How many songs? So I had to learn like 6 songs overnight, and of course I had to learn Yes. Like Yes is his like number one hit, and it was so cool just playing that with the artist who wrote it and performed it and had number one hit with it. So that was one of the coolest experiences so far. Was doing that show with Chad. That was really cool. Good dude too.
That's what's up. Yeah, when you get to do something like you just said, that experience of playing with an artist who's already got a
Yeah.
fan base that's worldwide, and then he's got, like you said, a number one out there and all this stuff.
Yeah,
That
and
I
they've already done the things that you're trying to do, so they're great, sources of knowledge, and uh, just very cool experience, man. And it kind of opens your eyes, and man, it makes you want it more. Let me tell you, when you're playing for a lot of people, and everyone's singing along, and they're there to see that artist, like that's next level. It's one thing playing at a marina or a bar, one of these little one-off shows, and I'm not knocking them at all because I love private solo events and duo events, but you can get that connection with people while you're singing and playing that you wouldn't be able to get with the larger audience. But man, the large audience is cool. It's just a really crazy feeling to be playing the song and seeing everyone out there singing. That's really neat.
think the biggest one that I've ever worked, I did security for Outlaw Nation a couple of years ago. That's like Jesse Howard and New Breed and some other artists that do country rock rap type
Yeah,
style. And I got a chance to go to Ohio and work security, and it was like 2,500 people at his hometown. It was the first show in his hometown for him and his all his group. And I was on the stage, and I looked out, and you know, I've been following them for a while. I love their music, and like with you, I reached out and was like, hey, if you guys need any help, because I just want to be involved.
yeah,
And when it was like, well, yeah, you come and do security, I'm like, seriously? All right. And it was a surreal experience to be
yeah,
backstage with someone that you've listened to and watched for so long, and then you're just standing backstage with them. Just yeah, what we
yeah.
doing? What we doing after the show? We're going to go back and get some breakfast or something. But the camaraderie was just like so next level. But then
It is.
it's it keeps you, like you said, a fan, but yes, also an artist. When you
Yeah.
cross the two together, sometimes you lose your professionalism because you got that person in front of you, and you're just like,
I, I haven't done it yet. Okay, I'm not. Don't want to speak knock on wood, but haven't had it happen yet. I try to stay as professional as possible, especially if I'm playing or guitar or singing. There would be some people I'd probably have trouble keeping
and
my cool around, like Ronnie
Alan,
Dunn, Kix
oh
Brooks, Alan Jackson, George Strait, the people I grew up with, Travis Tritt, Randy Travis, like people like that. I would really trip out on, and
yeah, you
Hank
probably lose
Jr.
it.
You'd be like, man, that's Hank
Mm,
Jr. But yeah, you try to play as cool as you possibly can. So far, I've kept my cool, but when it comes to people like where I know their music inside and out, it'd be very difficult to do that.
yeah, I've only done it. I've lost my composure twice with somebody, and it was a good experience, and they were understanding of it, and I was like so apologetic of my unprofessionalism at the time. And they're like, "It's okay, we understand," and I'm like, "I just don't do that. It's not me." But yeah, so that's a good thing. You would lose your cool if you saw Alan Jackson one day just walk, "Hey, how you doing, Ed? How you doing?"
Yeah, that would be weird. I mean, I got to see Alan when he came through last year. He's on the Last Call tour, so I saw him like front row, and man, what an experience! Like, Hadn't seen him yet, so I finally got to see Alan Jackson. I saw Brooks and Dunn. Last year was a great year for concerts for me. I saw Alan Jackson front row, Brooks and Dunn front row, all by chance because it's like open seating in Thompson Bowling Arena for the pit, and we
Hmm.
just got there early enough. Me and my wife were up there in the front, and
That's
got
what's
to see the
up.
whole show right there. So I got a couple other good concerts this year. We got go see Zach Top and Dwight Yoakam later this year. So that'll be probably my second or third time seeing Dwight.
That's what's up. I like that. I'm a big Skillet fan, so every time I can
Yeah.
get to go to their show, I go. And I finally, they saved my life a long time ago, and I got a chance to tell them that. And just recently, like a year or two ago, I took my son because he likes Skillet too, and we got to go backstage and hand them towels when they got off the stage at the end of the night, and he got group pictures with them. It was just with my son. It was an experience. So to have something like that is it's cool to be able to experience and have that memory for when someone does it to you down the road.
Which is
You've
weird to think.
been there. Yeah, but hey, it can
It
happen.
could happen. Stranger things have happened, but it's and music's so powerful. It does that to people, it changes people's
Yeah,
lives. And for me, like I'd always turn to music when I was having hard times, and it helped me through a lot. And like I said, that's always been my therapy. I just play guitar, sing, listen to music, and total audiophile. And I'm not just strictly country. I grew up with kind of best of both worlds. My dad, grandfather, from my dad's side, like hardcore country, man. George Jones, Gary Stewart, Marty Robbins, just all the classic stuff. Hank Senior, Hank Junior, and then my mom was totally into classic rock, like the Eagles, Journey, Whitesnake. So I kind of got the best of both worlds there. And she
that's
was also into the '90s country really heavy. So I'm very eclectic when it comes to music. But there's good music and bad music. Only
that's
two
true.
types.
That's true. I'm pretty spread across the genre map myself of everything I like. Um, so what do you got planned for this year? You got any more gigs coming up? Anything big or major you want to tell everybody about?
Well, I'll be looking out for my single. It's going to radio. It's called Honky Tonk Degree. I'll tell you a fun story about that later. But that's the biggest thing is my single's coming this year. Every radio station you could think of. I've been doing radio one-liners, which is basically you ever hear the radio and the artist goes, "Hey y'all, this is Ed Earl, and you're listening to 102.5 The Coyote." I've done like over 1,200 of those things, well over them. So we're doing a huge radio promotions push for this. My first single ever to radio. I'm super excited to hear my song playing on the radio. That's something I'm super excited for. It's going to be surreal. I know it's coming is the funny thing, and that's the biggest thing for me. And I got gigs throughout the rest of the year. I got 2 or 3 months typically. I still work full time, of course. My label guys I've been working with, they're kind of like, yeah, you got to keep your day, you got to keep your day job. Don't get too excited now. You got to pay the bills for now. But it's going really good. But I got usually 2 or 3 shows a month. A lot of stuff here locally around Knoxville. Uh, yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. And I think next year, if it all goes well, hopefully we'll be doing the fairs and festivals nationally. That's kind of what we're looking at. Just judging by the pulse, it's looking pretty good. The label really likes the single. They have a lot of confidence in it, and might get signed. Who knows? Right? So I'm just in a development deal now, and if the single does well and the numbers look good, I could get a 2-year 2 record deal and see how it goes from there.
That's what's up right there. I hope that does happen for you.
Yeah, me
I
too,
would,
man.
I'd love to get on my computer one day or on my phone and see you post on here tour, and I go look and I'm about, hey Ed, I see you coming to town, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out and do them photos and videos for you. I'm like, yeah, because I want to see you blow up because I've enjoyed some of the stuff that I've heard. I've gotten a chance to listen to like 3 or 4 things, and I got lots of people that love country music. Lots of people.
Good. Well,
So
what'd you like the best out of what you heard?
um, I'll tell you here. I actually put them in my playlist. I saved the three. They were right there. The one where you did a Merle Haggard cover that I really liked. The bottle that let me down.
Oh yeah, I was a little short on YouTube.
Yeah, I saved that one because I really enjoyed it. And then I saved How Cowgirls Say Goodbye.
That's a good. I wrote that. That's a solo, right?
That was a very good song. And then I saved Spanish Girls.
Also a solo, right? Cool, man. It's funny because everyone they hear all your songs and everyone likes something different. You know, like some folks may not like a specific song, but then they like this other song that you may not have thought they would have liked. It's just really interesting hearing which songs people like.
Yeah,
But yeah, I wrote everything. All those first two EPs, I wrote everything on there. So guitar, lyrics, vocals, did all that, and then just took it to the studio in Nashville and got it done. But yeah, "How Cowgirls Say Goodbye" is my 5-year-old's favorite song that I've written. He's never had a cowgirl leave him or anything, but that's his favorite song that Dad wrote.
that's good
He knows
stuff.
every word, and he can sing it.
Really,
It's awesome.
that's good.
Um,
That's good.
but yeah, that's a good song, man. When I wrote it, I was just it's funny. Songs come to you kind of like a bolt of lightning sometimes. It just I like take little things that people say out in the world. I'm a big people watcher and I kind of eavesdrop a little bit, just in passing, not on purpose.
Yeah,
But you hear little nuggets that people say interesting things, and you're like, man, that can go in a song somewhere, right? And so some of it comes from that, but how cowgirls say goodbye, that kind of just out of nowhere. I just was messing around with my guitar one day and just wrote it down. It took me like 10 minutes on that one. That one did not take long.
that's what's up. I write poetry and I write music and well write songs. I've got a bunch of them that I wrote and put to music. And I find when writing a poem or a song, it sometimes it's so easy. You just think of one subject and you just lay out some stuff. And then other times you want to write something for something, and you get the subject and you be like da 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 da, and then you ain't got nothing for days on end because you're just like
Oh
I
yeah.
want to do it but I can't do it.
Yeah, and you have to be disciplined with the songwriting aspect of it, and especially in the sense of just trying to continuously write. It's really hard, and sometimes you hit a wall. But I will say, co-writing has really made me better, just because when you work with writers that are better than you see how quickly they are, like how quick they come up with these lines, like incredible lines and just other professionals. There's a guy I write with in Nashville named Alex Dooley, and he wrote some stuff for Montgomery Gentry and Easton Corbin and a few others that I can't recall off the top of my head. But he had a lot of stuff on Easton Corbin's first album, and I can't remember what Montgomery Gentry songs he did. But I like writing with him just because we're really alike, two good old boys. We both have kids, oldest in football, like very similar situations. And I live in Knoxville. All my kids are UT fans, and his wife's, I guess, a UT grad. She's a UT fan. So we just like mesh really well, and we write well together. Every time we get together, we've written, one to two songs at a minimum. So whenever we get together, we just crush it. But it always helps having, like, I would highly recommend anyone's out there trying to write more songs. Get with some co-writers. Set up co-writes with people. Don't be shy, and sometimes you come up with some really cool stuff. Like, for instance, the new single, Honky Tonk Degree, we had already picked out the 4 songs we were going to record for this new EP. And so the pressure was kind of off, right? We know, okay, we got 4 songs, we're going to put it out there. And we got the labels like, hey, just one more co write the day before we record. And if you come up with something better than one of the other songs we have, we'll use it. I was like, cool. I was like, can I write with Alex? Because me and him just had already written 2 killer songs already, and got together one more time, literally the day before we recorded, and wrote Honky Tonk Degree. I came in with 4 ideas. I was like, these are the 4 ideas I got, and Honky Tonk Degree was one of them. And he said, that's the song we're going to write today. And man, we wrote it, and we wrote a good one. Like I said, it bumped another song off the EP, and you know, we recorded it literally. It must have been the fastest turnaround time ever because Friday, we wrote the song. The next day, probably not even like 12 hours later, we're in the studio recording it. It was pretty wild.
So is that on co-writing? Do you does it come in two different forms? Like you just have a song title comes to your name or to your mind, or do you come up with something on top of that? Sometimes you don't even have a song title; you just have like a verse, and then you go with him, and then he bounces back another verse or sentence, and you just play off of each other back and forth.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes it's just an idea. It's like, hey, I think this would be a really cool idea to write about, and we start with the idea, right? So sometimes it starts that way. With Honky Tonk Degree, I had most of the chorus already, So like I had the first three lines or so on the chorus and like a couple like ideas for verse. And we just went in there, and I was like, I want it to sound like a honky tonker. We got to have that, honky tonk shuffle in there a little bit. I hear fiddle song in my head, all that good stuff. And I played him the rhythm I was thinking about. He's all right. He's oh yeah, we got this right. And we just bounced off back and forth, and it just came together really quickly. And with co-writing, it can go a number of ways. Like sometimes both of you come in with nothing, and you just start talking about everything going on in your lives, and then something will pop out. I'm like, hey, let's write about that. Or like for me, I try to come into a co-write with a few ideas at a minimum, whether it be just like a title, a few lines I wrote that I thought sounded cool, or something to that extent. But sometimes you just kind of go in cold cocked and kind of hopefully you guys come up with something good in the time you have together.
I only asked that because I haven't had a chance to ask that of an artist yet.
Yeah,
And uh, one of my most favorite bands is Pink Floyd, and when
that's cool.
when I did it, I know so much about them, and I was reading on how they created their songs. You know, Roger Waters was a 95% songwriter, as well as music maker, on top of David Gilmour, Sid Barrett, Nick, and everybody else in the band. And only a handful of the other band members ever did a song or even sung on an album. And so when I was reading, they said, "Oh yeah, I always came up with the song. I wrote it all. Well, he wrote this part." And so when you say you were co-writing, that's why I wanted to ask how your dynamics of co-writing was, because everybody is different,
Gotcha.
man.
I mean, honestly, like in Nashville, if you're writing songs with the professionals, it's gonna be split 50-50. If it's if you have three people there, it's like 33.33% or whatever, but it's literally 50-50, right? So they're gonna have their songwriting share 50%, my songwriting share 50%. I have my own publishing company, so my publishing company gets the publishing 50%, and his gets 50%. So it's literally split down the middle. And that's just good business for everyone because if something we write together takes off, we're both going to make money off of it. Like there's
Exactly.
no use in squabbling, and that'd be some other great advice I'd give to other artists. Don't be shy about co-writing. It's a great tool. You're going to write better songs than you would by yourself. It's going to make you a better writer. And just don't be selfish. Like don't keep it all to yourself, right? Like if you have some great ideas, but they just need a little bit of TLC from another person, like don't be selfish with them, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to write the best songs that you can possibly write, right? We want something that's going to go to radio. It's going to be an earworm for people, get stuck in their heads. Like, man, what was that song? I want to hear that again, right? So that'd be my advice to young writers and artists: is don't be shy about co-writing. As long as you have your publishing rights organization good to go, your songwriter profile, all that good stuff. Have it set up for yourself is my recommendation because I got all my stuff set up. But that's my recommendation to young artists. Just work with other people. Don't be shy. Don't be selfish with it and say, oh, I want to make all the money, because that attitude will not get you very far in the Nashville world because everyone writes with each other. That's how the hits are made, like, period. And there's only very few songs that were solo rights. And I can tell you right now, current Nashville music, there's like 7 writers on some of these songs. It's absolutely insane.
Like
Literally,
on
it's like
one
7 dudes
song?
in a room. One song will have like 6, 7 writers. It's nuts.
No
And that's
kidding.
I'm not even kidding you, man. Like a lot of time, it's typically 2, maybe 3. But man, like if you look at Morgan Wallen's stuff, a lot of
Uh,
his stuff has multiple songwriters, like a crazy
wow,
amount of songwriters on there.
that's crazy. I
So
would have
don't
not.
be shy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that because I've worked with a lot of people, and I was like, "How'd you come up with this song?" 'Cause, I love that song. He's like, "Oh yeah, me and the guitar player, we were just hashing it out one day, and he was
Yeah.
strumming." And then other people would be like, "Oh, somebody sent it to me, and me and the band got together and finished it up." And so to hear that 6 to 7 people are
Yeah.
in a room writing a song, that's crazy to hear.
It sounds crazy to me, but I guess that's sometimes happens in Nashville nowadays. I guess a lot of these artists are friends with other artists and songwriters, and are just all in the same room, and they all just start throwing a song together. And I guess that's how that's been happening. And to me, like it's kind of blew my mind just because some of my favorite songwriters are like Terry McBride, Dean Dillon. Terry McBride did "Play Something Country." He did "I Am That Man" on one of my favorite Brooks and Dunn songs. He co-wrote on that one, and Ronnie Dunn and Kix Brooks wrote a bunch of good stuff together. and it's usually one or two. So I'm always more impressed by those guys that can just get together one other person or do it by themselves and have a hit song. Like, can you believe Ronnie Dunn wrote Neon Moon by himself? By
That's
himself,
great.
the man just came up with Neon Moon. It's insane.
That's great.
Now it's a honky tonk staple. It's just incredible. But no, it's really interesting. The Nashville machine. It's a process over there, right? Like they have ways of doing things, and a lot of folks, like a lot of bands, especially, it's just a guitarist and a vocalist writing songs, or a bassist, vocalist, guitarist, whatever it may be. And there's no wrong way to do it, right? As long as you come up with good songs and people want to hear them, that's all that matters. So can't I don't hate on anybody's process. That's just how they do things over there in Nashville, right? Because I could sit here and write 100 songs, and maybe none of them will be a hit, right?
That's
But
right.
maybe one of them will. You never know.
How many instruments do you play? I've noticed your guitar is behind you.
Oh yeah, I just got my three at the moment. I got my Telly, and I got two Martins. So mostly guitar. I could play most things with strings. Like if I play ukulele if I really wanted to. I haven't really tried too much, but things with strings I can play. I can play bass. I can play guitar. I can dabble on the piano a little bit, and of course vocals is kind of my main thing at the moment. Uh,
What's buckles?
but vocals,
Oh,
just
vocals.
singing.
I
Yeah,
see.
sorry. I
No,
mumble a little bit, so you gotta let me know if I'm mumbling. It's kind of a Texas
you're all
drawl
right.
thing. Like when I'm not paying attention, I start doing this. But no, yeah, I play a little bit of everything. I can dabble, but mostly guitar and singing is where I'm at, and I've always been good at it. I don't know, man.
Did you take
Yeah,
lessons, or did you just pick up a guitar one day and just start playing?
really, really interesting how it all came about. So my dad plays guitar, right? And he was taught guitar by Doug Sahm of Doug Sahm, the Sir Douglas Quintet,
I've heard of
and
them.
the Texas Tornadoes fame. So he was taught by him in San Antonio when he was a young man. My grandfather paid for lessons for him with Doug Sahm, and basically he's had just an inherent talent at it, right? So Dad's pretty decent. And I just inherited the gene or something, and I started playing on my own one day. I got my first guitar, and I think the first songs I was jamming out. I played like Layla was one of the first little riff songs. Ba, 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 so I learned that the acoustic version from Unplugged. That was a great Clapton album, by the way. That was one of the first songs I learned. I just always kept banging on it and probably annoying my brothers and sisters and my parents for a long time. And just eventually it started sounding good. And in high school, I will credit we had a guitar class because I moved from Texas to Santa Fe, New Mexico, when I was like 10, roughly. And I graduated out of Santa Fe High in Santa Fe. And I had a teacher named Pat Burns, and I had guitar lessons like for 4 years, right? So there are formal lessons, but it's like in a group setting. So what we're really doing is just jacking around with each other and just trying to learn the songs we actually want to learn. But he was so awesome. He was a great picker. He always played this like purple Telecaster, or like maybe it was like a maroonish colored purplish maroon Telecaster. Phenomenal guitar player, super solid dude. And he passed away not too long ago, but he played like a lot of classical guitar, and really it helped foster and develop that inherent talent that I had, just being able to hang out for an hour at school every day playing guitar. Even though I wasn't really paying too much attention, I still can't really read music. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I know chords, like I know how to play, like I can watch someone's hands and figure out what they're doing, and I can hear it, right? But I don't really have that knowledge because I didn't pay much attention. I was too busy messing around. But I did have some formal guitar lessons there. Then I joined the Navy after high school. When I got off active duty after my first 5 years, I got in the reserves, and my first college I went to was in Santa Fe, and I took contemporary music. So I did have like a full year of music, you know, on a collegiate level. But once again, didn't pay much attention. Got really good grades just because I could perform and play. They're like, hey, he's not so good at reading, but he can figure out a song, right?
That's what's
um,
up.
so it was just I had really good grades, and I was like, you know what? There's using up my GI Bill. This college ain't worth it. So I ended up applying to Belmont in Nashville, and that's how I kind of got out to Nashville for the first go around there. And yeah, it was good because I went for entertainment industry studies and my minors in music business. And I have hardly used my degree at all in my actual work life. It's all been like Navy experience. But it's funny how it works. You got like degree, it's the equivalent of underwater basket weaving. Like no one cares. It's like, oh, you got a degree, great, check in the box. Move on to the next step in the hiring process. So
That is a sad thing when half of us go to school. We never end up using what we went to school for.
I mean, I use it part time, doing my music stuff, of course, and heavy background in copyright law and just publishing and stuff like that, and helped me out, just set me up really great for that. Like I copyright all my own songs, I got the publishing set up, so it was an asset for me now, especially because I kind of know what I'm getting into. Now that my kids are older, I can focus on it more, and if I get to hit it big time, I'll know what I'm looking for in terms of contracts and you know what I'm willing to accept. So it's
That's
worked
what's
out in
up.
that sense for sure.
Right on. That's it. Um, I got one last major thing to ask, and then we can just go from there. The aspect of you being at the CMA Fest,
Okay.
being that it was a huge, major deal. It was also, some of it was televised, and you had a multitude of highly talented, very famous veterans, new ones, rookies, people don't nobody knows, all in one place at one time. What was that experience like for you to be able to see what it's gonna be like down the road for you?
Man, it's it's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially, and it's actually my second year doing CMA Fest. Like
Okay, right
this is
on.
year number two, and so yeah, basically we did the meet and greet stuff, and man, it's wild because it's very structured, right? Because getting artists in and out of a big venue like that without being bombarded by fans, it's hard, right? So that we basically have like a location you got to go to. You park your car, then I'm telling you, it's kind of like being the president of the United States, right? Like there's these big blacked out that say CMA Fest on the side. I'm like, all right, Ed Earl, okay, cool. You and your people get in this SUV. It's like a big black Chevy Tahoe or Suburban or something. Gigantic vehicle, just brand new, super clean. And then they cart you over there, right? And then you have security taking you through all the backstage, and they take you to the waiting area where all the artists and managers and songwriters and everyone else that's hanging out there are hanging out in the back, and they got light refreshments and things like that. And it's just really cool, And of course, I brought my wife, and the girls from the label were there, and a couple of my buddies came with me, and it's really surreal in the sense that you have security guards. Like that's something like I mean you're familiar with this obviously, but you're in the back. These are people you don't know, and they're like, "All right, come with me," and they take you to where you got to go. So when we're doing the meet and greet, and they got to take you through the back of the convention centers and like all the way to where you're gonna go sign and meet people, right? So that part was super cool. You just feel like you're already famous. That's the closest you're gonna feel to famous without being famous, is being at CMA Fest. And yeah, and of course you see a lot of cool people backstage, and nobody that I like. I said not anyone I would completely fanboy over. It wasn't any Ronnie Duns or Kix Brooks or George Straits there. The people I'm huge fans of, but a lot of people that I recognized, which was really neat. There's a guy, I don't know if you ever, John Barry had some number one hits back in the 90s. He was there with his manager. I got to talk to him, which is really cool. And I saw Hannah Dash there. She's getting a little bit bigger. She has a really great guitarist, too. She's been on some guitar things on YouTube. And yeah, so it's a really cool experience. And then just meeting people that just love country music, and they want to meet the person they think could be the next big thing. And it's just a cool experience. You're very open to it. Like this is my second year coming, so I come with a lot of merch, and I give out a bunch of merch for free because it's free advertising, and you're going to make a better connection with somebody than just saying, "Hey, come meet this person that's not even famous yet." Yet, keyword. But come meet this random person. So it gives people incentive to stop by, and literally people come from all over the United States to CMA Fest and CMA Fanfare, and passing out those Ed Earl hats and shirts. Like it really, means something to people because, you know, they'll always remember that too. Like they'll remember that they saw you at CMA Fanfare, and then when my song comes out, if when they hear it on the radio, they're gonna go, "I met Ed," and I'm gonna call that radio station and ask them to play him again. right? Those are going to be the people that are going to be really helping you out nationally. Like the way it was kind of posed to me is that they're going to be your super fans. Those are going to be the people who get you where I want to go because they're going to be the people that are calling the radio stations and saying, "Hey, play that Earl song again," right? So that's me, and I think that's really the way it's happened. So I made a point whenever I had one-on-one conversations with people. I said, "Hey, I saw Honky Tonk Degrees coming out this year. If you hear it on the radio, please call and ask them to play it again." So I made a point to say that to about, I don't know how many hundreds of people I met in my time slot, but a lot of people. But I don't know what other questions you have about it. I don't know if that was what you were looking for or not.
Now that works perfectly. Did you get a play? Like, did you get a perform while you was at CMA Fest?
I didn't play this time, no. So it's really interesting how it works. I guess you have to have a certain, you basically have to be signed to a label to play a CMA fanfare, right? So once you get to that, now that's kind of the next level for me is getting an actual label deal, and then I'll probably be playing next year or the year after or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But next year, I would anticipate that we'll be playing the fairs and festivals nationally, and possibly I'll probably do CMA Fanfare. I get to play that one next year or the year after. It's one of those things you got to build up to it, and it's just a process. So, and there's people who have been playing, that going to CMA Fan Fest for years and have not played yet. So
Wow.
it's really
When you make it,
competitive.
when you make it, I'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll come and I'll give you the other part of the VIP experience. I'll come and be your security for the day.
I already got people at work who are like, "Hey man, when you make it big, you gotta hire me for security so I can get out of here." It's like, all right, man.
But no, I mean, I'll be there to support you with, I didn't get a chance to come this year or the year before, but hopefully next year I plan on coming again because I really enjoyed it. My son enjoyed it. He had fun meeting
Yeah,
everybody. And, I have a friend who wanted to come and couldn't, but, I plan on coming again. And since I know you're going to be there, I'll definitely make sure I stop by and we'll try to make a time to go out and get some coffee together and talk.
yeah, man. We'll give you some merch, and yeah, man, it'll be good stuff. Like I said that's one of my big MOs when I'm ever at CMA Fan Fair. It's like, here, take some merch. But yeah, it'll be good.
And
Lord willing, I'll be there.
when is your when do you have a date yet for when your song is supposed to come out?
Oh man, I've been anxiously waiting for the date from the label. I'm still waiting. I've heard the first mix and they're mastering it currently. So I would anticipate it's going to be sooner than later, probably within the next couple months, I imagine. But I will definitely shoot you a message and let you know when it's
Yes.
gonna
So
pop out. You can do a little
when you
plug for
tell me
me.
that, I'll tap into every country station here in town and be like, "Hey, new artist just popped out. I like to know if you guys would play that for me. I've been wanting to hear it, and I'll get that ball rolling up here."
I appreciate it, man. That's what it takes. It's a grassroots thing, you know. You got family and friends in Texas and New Mexico and from the Navy all over the United States. You know, hopefully everyone calls the radio stations and says, "Hey, you got to play some Ed Earl. Play that Honky Tonk Degree song." I think you're gonna like it, man. I mean, it's pretty traditional. It's if you like Brooks and Dunn, '90s country in general, I think
Yes.
Alan Jackson, you're gonna like it. It's very upbeat. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sam. I love sad songs. I love ballads. Man, I finally wrote one. I was like, this is an upbeat banger. This is great, right? So I'm pretty proud of it. This EP has probably been my most upbeat to date, honestly. We got
That's
some fun songs. They're funny. We got one serious song on there that I wrote. Me and actually Alex and I wrote it about our kids, kind of. That's called "Away From You," and that's a sentimental song. But the other three are pretty upbeat. They're pretty fun. And like I said, we're doing cool things out here, and I'm really looking forward to what happens in the future.
that's good stuff. Where can every where can everybody find you? Where's the best place that they can locate you?
So the all-in-one place is www.ederalmusic.com. So that kind of has all my links in there, has my bio, my upcoming tour dates, and dates I'm playing, all good stuff. And also, like I said, links to all the social media. And my tag for all the social media is at Ed Earl Country. So they check me out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know, I'm still building it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not the greatest at social media, but as an artist, you
Right
kind
here.
of have to start getting good at it. So
Yep.
it's building little by little. And yeah, give me a follow, give me a like, and definitely check out the songs that are out there. Like I said, my two first two EPs are out there on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you like to stream. And I did those by myself, so that was without any backing. I just went out there and did it. So the new stuff, it's getting better as I go. So the most recent thing that's on there is from 23, but go give those EPs a listen. That's what I would tell you.
You guys can find the website right below us, right here. As you can see, that's where it's at. Hit that website. Check him out. Also in the comments, I'll be listing some other links for you guys to go check out. And please check him out and give him a follow and share his music. Let's see this guy blow up. We want to see him on the CMAs one day. Come on. Ed, I want to say thank you.
Thanks, guys. God bless you. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you next year, CMA Fanfare.
Yes, I'm going to do my best to come out to that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Sam.
I appreciate you being here, Ed. Thank you.
No sign of warning, no chance to say goodbye. No more, one more last time. No, she don't want to hear my truthless alibi. That's how cowgirls say goodbye.